Well, good afternoon, good evening, good late night for those from across the pond that join me for this show. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone had a good week. And to all of my friends on the East Coast, stay warm, be safe, don't go out unless you have to. I hear there are driving bans in and around New Jersey. Tom and Miss Taro D and Selena. So everybody stay safe, stay warm. And yes, very excited. Well, aren't I excited about any of my shows? And Shelby says, there is a blizzard outside. I recently saw pictures on Facebook from a group that takes pictures from the archives in Buffalo, and they actually showed 1977 when the drifts were so high you can climb them and touch the traffic lights. So be safe, Shelby, my dear. So even though there isn't really a whole lot, I wanted to do today's show on a goddess that is from Miss Terodi's homeland island of Sardinia, which of course is part of Italy. And she sent me a whole bunch of information, like little inserts here and there. There is one that I missed putting into the description box, but I can do that after the show. I'll actually put it in my community tab. I didn't get to hear the whole podcast. It's about an hour and a half. And the lady that does it talks about how when she was there, she accessed the Akashic records and energies of the island and the goddess. So I even have a poem here that includes both a rewritten from last night that I wrote for Miss Taro D, along with some of today's show inspiration. And I'm going to do my very best. And I do have to watch. There is a word that I know YouTube will not be happy about. So I will have to do, a slang for it. But today we are going to look, and as you can see from the thumbnail, well, there she is, Miss Taro D. Miss Taro D, did a voice recording and sent you the rewritten poem, including the Mother Goddess in with your poem, and I sent that to you first before I read for the show. You're having some delays. It could be the weather. I hear you guys are getting hit again with snow. So the Mother Goddess worship. Um, I'll show you a picture as you see the thumbnail. This is one of the articles that Ms. Tarot D sent me, and the island embraced thousands of years ago both a male and a female deity, and at a lot of the caves that are associated with, especially the Mother Goddess, penises. I can say that word because apparently YouTube is okay with the word penis. So to acknowledge the fertility, because you cannot have the divine masculine without the divine feminine. Oh, Tom, don't start any trouble. Just teasing. So I was a little confused, Ms. Terry, about the beginning of this one article, but I am going to share what was written, and it was written by Daniela Totti, and there's a little saying after it by the lovely Jane Shinoda Bolin. And so I'm going to share this, and yes, word for word. So we're going to skip that first one. So so I'm going to read this. So there's a very interesting alternative in interpreting. So here's her name. Okay, Ms. Tarot D, I've been practicing this and I've tried so hard so that I don't mispronounce, but they did say how to pronounce it. And it's not on this piece of paper, of course. So I believe it's Ich Nusa. And later on, it was gone down to Is Cunnusas. And Cunnusas, or Kunu, is basically, if you put it through English, is see you next Tuesday. And that's the phrase that I have to use. So if everyone can just put that in, then you'll be able to. So there are interesting interpretations of Ichnusa due to Bartolomeo Porchud. Oh, Miss Tarot D, I should be ashamed of myself. I'm 25% Italian and I'm having print problems. Bartolomeo Porcedu, writer and enthusiast of the Sardinian language, who instead tells us it derives from Is Cunnusas, or the Venus, thinking of the Venus of Willendorf, namely in the women. The female organ called Kunu in Sardinian. The Sardinians named it after associating it to the cross of the swan constellation, which I found very beautiful, which was called in Greek kuknos and in Latin signu, and which in both cases read kunus, and they made it become kunu in Sardinian. Assuming the swan woman erotic association is plausible. The ancient Nuragic or Nuragi, reproposing the Kunu cross in the architecture of the wells, built hundreds of sacred wells which represented in their mysticism the earth's womb from where the waters flowed. And therefore the mother goddess gave life. Almost all the megalithic monuments were dedicated to the Sardinian goddess of beauty and love, Cunnusa, called Aphrodite by the Greeks. Imperial Rome subsequently identified the female divinity Cunnusa as the winged goddess, and also called the goddess of victory, with her open wings. So this hypothesis is for which Sardinia would have been called Ichnusa, and the land is Is Cunnusas. Let's see. I'm going to take a brief stop here to say hello to folks. And again, thank you. Jax is here. Miss Tarot D is here, who inspired today's show. We have Miss Nancy. We have Tom. And Shelby is here. And everyone checking in. Okay. Ikanusa. Okay. So I was going by one another, but thank you. Ikanusa. I'm going to leave that up, Miss Tarot D, because I don't want to offend. And Irene is also here. Hi, Irene. So let's see. Went on a little bit more here. Subsequently, the figure. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, the mother goddess worship is confirmed by the many statuettes, as the one you see in the thumbnail, which I just showed, and I believe there are a couple of other ones I saw in a few videos on television. And revealing the feminine deity was honored in Sardinia. They had elaborated hairstyles, important breasts and wide hips, like the Venus of Willendorf, fertility indexes. It was a deity that was reproducing by parthenogenesis, in this case, which means being born by itself, not requiring male sperm or male interaction to be able to create a fetus, a child. without masculine intervention. Her power was everywhere, in the stones and in the water, in the animals and in the flowers. Her breath sang the life she was giving. She awakened the earth after winter to offer her products to men, ease the productivity of the animals. She was life, death, and rebirth. Subsequently, the figures of the Mother Goddess in the Copper Age will be found on metal sheets, but the divine male figure is already beginning to join that of the Mother Goddess between 5000 and 4000 BC. Over time, the Mother Goddess will be replaced, as we all know, by, male figures becoming the daughter of a father god, a wife or a husband god, sister of a brother god, mother of a god, and male child. Then, with the cultural superimposition of Christianity on paganism, all the megalithic sites dedicated to the goddess Cunusa, or Cunusa, as written here, were gradually rebaptized literally by the priests of the new church. And to end that article, somewhere deep in the soul, we women remember a time when divinity was called goddess and mother, and that was Jean Shinoda Bolin. And Ms. Tarot D shares something. Oh, so working remotely, which is always extra work and more stress. Oh, plus my computer's acting up during the storms. So yes, and it doesn't help we have a Mercury retrograde either. So that is one wonderful article. One of them that you sent to me, Ms. Tarot D, was in Italian. So I wasn't really able to, open that one. And I think, and there was also that other article, Ms. Tarot D, that you sent me, that they mentioned another goddess who went by Mama, and in which the dove is an animal associated with her. Let me see if I can find, because this is small print. I'm not on my laptop for this. But that I may look into Mama. Okay, so Mama. So we have Babai, which is the high king and king of the Sheridan feed or fade. I'm not sure how you pronounce that properly, Ms. Tarody. I apologize. Who is depicted as a minotaur or a bull. He has a cult aspect with the sun and also a chthonic role. We know this from the fact that the giants' graves are made in the shape of a bull's head. And another interesting interesting fact of Sardinia, there is also known as the island of the giants. And there have been reports of all over the world at one point in time, actual people who have been considered giants, over 7 feet or even taller. And you will see them mentioned in tales of, our military men and women in, the Middle East, bones and graves that were found here in the United States. And once the Smithsonian got a hold of them, they suddenly disappeared. So, and also another tidbit that I found fascinating, and I don't have the paper here, is one of the most geologically old places in the world. That there's so many different layers and different types of geology that can be found on Sardinia as well. And another little interesting bit of information is I didn't really notice it until one of the videos, but it looks like someone had made the island from the impression of a foot, which I thought was very cool. So Mama is the Nuragic queen goddess, or Nuragic goddess. She presides over water and the moon, which may mean she is an agricultural fertility goddess and also the goddess of purification. Finally, she too has a chthonic role, as fertility images such as breasts and penises have been found in the entrances of the tombs. So I will close that one. And I think that is what you have sent me, Miss Tarot D. And I've tried to find a few more here and there. Um, I did watch the Sardinia goddess worship from Nuragic shamanic healing. Um, Basically, pretty much said what the articles were saying. Um, so that is what I have. Um, but I'm sure Miss Tarot D will share some more with us. So let me back up. I saw that you are here, Jackie. So, Cunnusas. And then when they take the IS away, it's the Cunnusas. And there's Irene, and of course, which again, the root for or word for see you next. I hate having to say it that way, but some people don't like the word. And of course, a lot of words that had sacred meaning have had such negative connotations to it that we still can get a strike for words that are all part of the natural being of, the human soul or the human body. So she goes by, okay, so Mama Dia is basically Mother Earth. And another interesting, I caught a little bit from the podcast, was that some feel that the island of Sardinia could possibly be a remnant of Atlantis, and the continent that they're attempting to call or called is called Tyrannus, which I thought was very interesting as well. And Ms. Tarot D says there is a tomb that during a certain time of the year, the sun reaches this hole in the tower, and inside it cases a light shadow of the bull. They knew, our ancestors knew what they were doing. Highly civilized back then. And here, Cunnusas, a name given by the ancient Greeks derived from ichnos, which is footprint. Oh, Miss Tarot D, too bad you couldn't co-host with me today, because the island is shaped like a footprint. I never noticed that until it was called out. So everyone's saying hello. And is there anything else, Miss Tarot D, that you would like to add? I believe I clicked on all your articles you sent me. Unfortunately, the one I thought I could change that. I thought I changed that though earlier into English, but I'm not seeing the ability to translate. And I'll show a few pictures of other, statues that were found, like the Venus of Willendorf. Women with the big hips and the big breasts were the ones that were most coveted because they were able to nurture and produce children, because back in the day, a lot of times, children didn't survive, and a woman who was able to, who had the physical ability to create and sustain life, were the ones that, were considered the goddess or the one that's most idealized. But yeah, I'm not finding an ability to switch that up. Yeah. So let's see. So Miss Tarot D is still, yes, the statues were placed in people's hands when they died as a symbol of returning back to the earth. Beautiful. I thought there was another article that might have been from my searching, but because I am off of my laptop now, I cannot find it, Miss Tarot D. Let me see. And every time I would put in the name Ichnusa, they kept giving me the beer. So apparently Sardinia has a very popular beer named after the goddess. Let's see. Yep, brand of Sardinian made beer. Is it any good, Miss Tarot D? back to the womb. Yes, that is beautiful. From the mother and then returning to the mother. So, yes, I'm getting lots of articles on beer. Oh, goodness gracious. So, yes, I had found something before, Miss Tarody, on my laptop. I apologize. I can't find it now. But I do remember during listening to the podcast, um, the lady mentioned that when you go to Sardinia, she says you can feel the mother there. She said that there is a beautiful, soft energy, a gentle energy, one that's very comforting, very nurturing. And she says, compared to when she went to, the country, the land of Italy, went to Italy itself, she can automatically feel stepping onto that land, the patriarchy, the heaviness and domination of the patriarchal, of the male gods, of the male energy, whereas Sardinia is very soft, very peaceful, um, very nurturing. She is also the water goddess because think about when we are in the womb, we are surrounded by water. Exactly. We are created in water. And so, Miss Tarot D, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I wanted to record and share the reworked poem, and including and working in. Let me make sure, because if I can find that again, because I don't want to be. Um, there we are. I always get nervous around you, Miss Tarot D. You got that effect on me. But at least I didn't have any interruptions in the bathtub today. So, Cunnusas. So, Ms. Tarot D, again, this was based from yesterday, and I included it, the mother goddess, because she was brought to me by you. I wanted to intertwine um, you both in the poem for today. I got inspired this morning. So, she saw the duality of her soul, and in both she took in with delight, reflecting in many points of light within herself, a throne of personal sovereignty, reclaiming rulership of her own body and story. Years in the making, crafting and carving the wood, metal, and lush fabric of her life's journey, painted within rainbow colors, the essence of her soul, weaving sweetness, pain, and resiliency. Candles lit from within the sacred hollows of her own divine light. Be thy name, birthed from the womb of night, a beacon rising others from their own depths of despair into a spiritual awakening which she graciously shares, no strings attached, drawing the world together with her gentle touch. La Madrina, birthed from the island of Sardinia, home of the sacred goddess Icanusa, sacred feminine of fertility and beauty, baptized by the sacred waters of her womb. From a delicate footprint she blooms. And that's what I have. Thank you, Miss Tarot D, for sharing her with me, with us, and for you being you, and you truly embody the goddess of your home, of your homeland. Um, the colors, the beauty, the nourishing, the sensitivity, the emotions. everything. So thank you. Well, you outdid yourself. Well, I hope that's a good thing. So just want to make sure I did right by you. Thank you. So, and as time goes on, if I learn more about her, I'll be happy to share also on the channel at other points. Now my iPad's about to die, so just enough time for me to be able to pull up those articles. And so, opening up for readings. I do have my Colette Baron Reed deck with me today, but also in honor of the Italian, I brought my Mannerist tarot because it has a lot of feel of Italian Renaissance. So I brought that deck with me for today. Let's see. And if you would like a message strictly from, okay, let me pull up her name again here. Let me find, where's my goddess ticker? I no longer have a goddess ticker. Oopsie. So let me go ahead. Divine Feminine reading. So when people come in, Divine Feminine reading, the good old type me. And let me put scroll. Let me add as a banner. And what I need to do is Tarot D. And if there's anything else during the show, Miss Tarot D, that you want to share about her, please let me know. I haven't been connected to my Italian roots for a very long time, because of my not so positive experiences with my some of my ancestors. So let me write this down so if I forget how to pronounce her name properly, I'll have it right here. Okay, so if anybody would like a Divine Feminine reading, type in me. And if you would rather just have a message from the great goddess, the great mother, Cunnusas, please just put that in chat and I will pull solely from the tarot. So thank you for doing this. It was very special on your working. You have to run. Thank you, Miss Tarot D, for being here. I appreciate you so much and love you so much. So thank you. And Jack says, I'm good with the caboose, cooking some tacos and cutting up some fruit and tomatoes. Dealer's choice. Okay. From Cunnusas, of course. So let me write down. Let's see. Yeah, we can use this paper here. Okay, so we have Jax, of course. We have Irene. All my lovely chatters. Dealer's choice. Okay. So, Jax, I am actually going to pull from the Sacred Feminine deck because I do know that she was supposed to come today. There was going to be a couple of readings I was going to maybe meet her for. So, can anybody do it? Ooh. Wow, that did not take long. And it's interesting who the goddess is. She has to do with sleep at the nighttime. I wonder who that could be. So, where is my tarot? I'll sit back and listen in. Wonderful. Okay. Message. Nope. Actually, yes, this is for Jax. I know she said she was going to be the caboose, but I wrote her name down and I only went into her energy. So, Jax and then Irene. My apologies, ladies. Okay. Let me grab the books. I know a little bit about her. I kind of touched base with her earlier this year or last year. Now, where's my book? It should be right here. And it's not. Give me a second here. I do not know why my books keep disappearing on me. There you are. Okay. All right. Thank you for everybody for still hanging out here. So, Jax, I want you to. Nah. Okay. Let me know, Jax, if you want me to add the alignment message because there's the empowerment message and then there's the alignment. And I want to make sure I do read for you the empowerment message. So you got Nyx. And according to Collaborator Reed in her book, she's about secrets. I hear the secrets that you keep. Oh, there you go. While you're talking in your sleep. So Nyx is, the goddess of the night. So here, there are times when you must surrender your need to know. Some things open up only when they choose to, not by demand. The mysterious and the unknowable is the domain of the Greek goddess Nyx. She shows you the veils that may not part for you at this time. Right now, you're meant to keep on your path, trusting that secrets will be revealed as the goddess Nyx decides. Remain true to your intentions and keep on moving forward, remaining curious and open to what you can discover. Allow your need to know the details right now to fall and just be present to all life is offering you. Judge nothing as good or bad and just be with what arises. Soon the treasure you seek will be revealed and it will be better and more valuable than you could have imagined. The goddess Nyx knows what is best for you. Trust all will be revealed in divine timing. So you said yes with the alignment message. And it's interesting that Tom just popped in because Tom, we have Nyx. And I believe one of the goddesses that you've studied or resonated with are one of her daughters, Eris, if I remember correctly. So the alignment message, Jax, for Nyx is the goddess of night, mystery, and secrets. Nyx asks you to ask yourself a deep question about denial. What secret have you kept from yourself? Could you be remaining in a relationship that isn't working for you because you won't address the fear of what will happen if you leave or do things differently? Have you been afraid to ask for what you need? Are you in an addictive spiral thinking one more bite of food or one more glass of wine will make you feel better? No, I don't think with that. Unless it's a taco. If there might be an addictive spiral. I mean tacos. Every time I talk to you, you're having tacos busted. But here, whatever it is that you're refusing to face, the goddess Nyx promises if you do, You will be amazed at the beauty of your liberation and power. Let me fix my screen a little bit. She offers you this alignment task for you to engage in rigorous honesty and self evaluation, coupled with a fierce self love and commitment to growth. Be optimistic because the moment you are willing to name your unease, you claim your inner peace, strength, and hope. And I'm going to add and power over it. And it says here, you can do it. So, looking at your tarot cards, I can see from the beginning of things needing to move slowly um, because there's stuff going on right now. Um, and I believe what it was hinting in the beginning is you starting to connect more with your abilities. You're picking up your tarot cards, your oracle cards. You are starting to work more with the psychic abilities that you have, especially the intuitive as well. And right now, that I believe goes along with the alignment message that once negative relationships, people, and situations are out of your life, or at least it quiets down enough where you will be able to go into that mindset of being able to, as the book has said, things will happen in its due time. Things will start to pick up and start to move over. So right now, your significator is the Chariot. So you are taking control. You're directing. It's kind of hard when you got more than four people. So right now, you got to ignore the backseat driver, so to speak, on this card. Take control of the reins. Keep what you're doing. Staying, focused, in control, and just keep on keeping on, as they say. Now, your top card is the Five of Wands. So there is struggles and things that you are still going through, conflicts on all levels, as we know, and some of it too, even within ourselves, and things being, also close at home. So for the Nyx, for those abilities and those secrets of the universe and of who you are to continue forward, we have to get past this because we can't focus on our spiritual development, our psychic development, until we are able to be in a place where we're grounded, we have quiet, and we can focus and properly give our time and effort and attention to those developments, because we need to make sure that everything is in place and protections are in place and grounding is in place, so that you learn properly, basically. But the bottom card is you are the Empress. And this card represents, to me, I'll share an insight privately with you, because I'm looking at the cards and some of the things I don't think you may want to talk. But we got the Empress. You're the mama energy. You're taking care of a lot of these conflicts. You're dealing with these conflicts personally, not just those that that you're helping in your household, but also with things personally. And that's why I like the Chariot card for you, because it is showing that you are nudging everybody out who wants to take control, and you're taking control. You're showing them who the leader is, basically, or who's in control of the reins. And of course, the Empress, the mother, the fertility, the connection to the earth, the creativity, that's all within you. And that's what I have for you, Jax. Thank you, my dear. Now I got to take a sip. Well, just a little, but I prefer no drama llama. So, okay, so Tom, yes, so Nyx is the mother of Eris. Busted. Let's see. Oh, I did ask. They said they just don't want to. That's not a me problem. Okay. Because tacos rule. I have never eaten a taco in anger. Oh, never. Been learning patience for 6. Yeah, I hear you go. Nah, I had tacos the other day, so I'm good. Well, I didn't have quite. It was more like a quesadilla, but it was still good. And Tom says, Jax, you shall partake of a bunless hot dog on Friday in honor of Nix's daughter, Eris. A bunless. Why no buns? Oh, maybe this is where he's going to explain. A Discordian shall partake of no hot dog buns, for such was the solace of our goddess when she was confronted with the original snub. You heard it here first, folks. Entertainment purposes only. I would eat them every day these days if I could. Hamburger is seriously expensive right now, though. Yeah, I know. I treated us to Five Guys the other day, and there's the what's life with the yeah, girl. Yes, spot on. It's one of our 5 commandments. I don't know if Tom's trying to, yank my chain, but there's a bit of like with all myths and all stories, Tom's there's a little bit of truth in them, right? Alrighty, Shelby, enjoy your dinner. And yes, my dear, stay safe, stay warm. It looks like our snow has passed. We had a high of about 50 today, but we do have rain coming in, so which we so desperately need here. Um, so good, homemade taco pockets. Oh my God, girl, stop. Alrighty, so Irene, you're up. And a message from I wrote a message from the goddess. Okay, that's too many cards. Guys, we got to keep to a couple. Cunnusas, message from the Sardinian goddess of love, beauty, fertility for Irene. Even when I say her name, I get the soft pink, like rose quartz. It's like a haze. It's like a soft mist. Just really beautiful. It's in the holy book, Principles of Discordia. But the hot dog bun, you have to admit you added that, right? Oh my goodness. What do we got going on here? Oh, Irene, same message, different day, sweetheart. So for your significator, your main energy right now. Let me see how I word and phrase this because I see how it's connected. You know that saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't? This is kind of the situation here. So your significator is the devil. And from what is going on right now in your life, I believe the goddess wants you to know that you are not the devil. But she is acknowledging that you are keeping yourself in those bonds from the stories that you tell yourself, and even in bondage from those who would want to keep you in bondage through guilt, through shame. It's so interesting how a reading can be 2 sides of a coin from 2 perspectives. What you want or what you crave and or miss the Ten of Cups. For me, this is something that you really want to obtain: the Ten of Cups, the happiness, the family, um, the joy, the contentment, the celebration of family. Um, Things coming to a cycle where it's like, okay, I'm ready to be happy. I want. But again, the devil energy pops in, and the underlying energy, things that we don't really want to look at, is the Eight of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups at the top, and then we have it the Eight at the bottom. But to be able to attain this for yourself, there's going to have to be that emotional walking away, starting fresh, without the guilt, without the shame, without the regrets, just simply having to walk away. And I know we discussed this in chat yesterday or the day before. Let me pull another card. I feel like she's got another message. Yeah. But Irene ain't living in Georgia. It's like that. Those that would keep you ensnared, weather permitting. She says, what's really holding you back is the nostalgia, sweetheart. The memories. Remembering what life was like with Johanna. Remembering when times were good with her. I think you said also your mom. I apologize, Irene. A lot of people in our community have lost parents. I know Jax was dead, and I think mom was also. And then, of course, right now with your daughter, who needs the help that she needs to get for herself. But that nostalgia card keeps getting played, keep getting brought into, well, don't you? So I don't think I even have to say, I asked for a clarifier for the devil. And this is the nostalgia. Again, more cups, playing with your emotions, having to work through those. It's okay to have the memories and nostalgia, but I think that's that nostalgia. It's what's keeping you chained to that devil and keeping you from being able to experience that Ten of Cups. What was the bottom card? The Empress came out again. Yes, you are the mother, and you may be seen as such for making that decision to move. If you do, it's going to be it's probably going to be a very painful decision for you. I know it's going to be a painful decision for you to make. But it's that mother energy. This is Gaia. Gaia makes you happy. Connect with her. It goes underneath with the Six of Cups. That mother energy being pulled on. But I'm the mother. These are my children, not that. And then things that are go. Yeah, it's that same loop, honey. It's that same loop. But if you do make that change, look what your next card is. The Death card. It'll be a new start. It'll be a rebirth. Cutting the past. Cutting that which no longer serves you. And moving forward. I would think also that that's something that Johanna will want for you as well. But again, still being the mother, I should be there for my kids. The memories that, it's, yeah. So that's what I have for you, my dear. The local groundhog glide supposed to be in early spring. Yeah, what doesn't kill me will make you stronger. Well, that's for you to decide. Righty, my dear. I'm down to 5 people. But Miss Tara D was here, but that's okay. I appreciate her being here. I appreciate all of you being here. Um, and oh, this might be a short show. I can maybe do a collective, see if somebody else comes in. But is there a message from Cunnusas for the collective? You're welcome, Irene. Mm-mm. Ooh. So, for the collective, message from the goddess Cunnusas. Page of Wands. Stay inspired. Or the guy from what drink was it? That older guy. Stay thirsty, my friends. Well, anyway, stay inspired, he says, my friends. And when I see this, I think that's like brushes or something. But in another deck, the Fyodor, she is holding paintbrushes and a sketchbook and a palette. So this is the page. This is that inner child, that curiosity, being curious, being playful, exploring our creativity, in search of inspiration, getting inspired. So stay inspired, stay creative. Actually, no, that was the Page of Cups with the Fyodor. This is Page of Wands in this deck. But to me, very similar, the Wands and the Cups. Because with the Cups, the intuition, creativity, with the Wands, it is creativity, it's motivation, it's inspiration. So maybe even inspiration um, to write. We're still in the in bulk season. The goddess Bridget, the goddess of inspiration and poetry, just like Nuragic, she's poetry as well. So this is the time for us to start letting that inner child out, play, get curious, get motivated, get excited for something this coming week or in life. The top card, Two of Wands. So the page is going to go. He's got the Two of Wands, and now he's looking out over. Almost kind of looks like could possibly be standing on Sardinia, overlooking the beautiful waters. They have many, many beautiful beaches there. Oh, let me take this down. Oops, sorry about that. This is the collective, and so that Two of Wands is about planning, looking out, envisioning, just knowing that you have the inspiration, the motivation to get out there, explore the world, explore your inner world. Just really planning. That page is getting that itch, and now that page is working out ideas, finding ways of staying motivated. For me, this is like strategy, planning, just really starting to get things coming into the physical, the tangible. Not all who wanderlust. Dos ikas, my friend. Yes. And the underlying energy is the Queen of Swords for us. And that's about being exactly clear of what we want. In this, once we get to this stage and we start planning, she's saying, moving forward, if you know exactly what it is and you've got those plans written down and those ideas, she goes, stay focused, communicate with the universe, with yourself, with what exactly it is, how you want, to vision it, speak it, believe it, bring it into manifestation. So I like that message because she is, the mother, the womb. Um, she's not. This isn't the. She's more like the Queen of Cups, but here she's saying to stay focused, not to not to fall into that sense of not belief, not to give up, to keep planning. And this Page of Wands too, knowing that we have those, and so this is kind of like the Ace of Wands, Tom, if you're still here. So this is Tom taking that Ace of Wands that he keeps getting, and kind of like, well, do I want to do something with this? Do I want to tap into that inner child? What can I get curious about? How can I get playful? How can I get inspired? Well, now's the time. Of course, with the Queen of Swords, Mercury retrograde, being very clear on communication. And if you're not quite sure when to communicate something or to set up something, especially if you're developing or creating through, electronic device, making sure and your systems are backed up. I have no inner child, but I create nonetheless. We all have an inner child, huh? Eye on the prize, yes. So during, especially Mercury retrograde, you know, things that we want to do, also write them down in the physical. Um, Maybe taking a step back at the moment from the technology and just being very clear with yourself and what it is that you want to do, and to be able to speak that to others. Um, because you don't want, because the Queen of Swords, yeah, she's somebody you don't want to piss off. The Queen of Swords can be loving, but I've had a couple Queen of Swords in my life, and their lessons to me have always been about speaking your truth, understanding others' truths, being clear in communication. Particularly my high school not my high school, my college mentor, Connie's definitely was a Queen of Swords. Very cut sometimes, to the point where it hurt. Sometimes we need that tough love. So again, staying focused. She might have to give you some of that tough love. But yeah, like Sardinia, the world's our oyster. So that's what I have. 5-5. Everyone keeps saying, "Ooh, 5-5-5." My time. Me, 3 hours behind, so not quite there yet. I had a 2-2-2 a little while ago. I feel like I have a whole brood of them in me. Oh, the page of wands. Eye on the prize, girl. It is, most definitely. I know I love this. They make a cream for that itch, Heather. Yes, they do. Lots of different creams. We all have different itches. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Stay thirsty, my friends. Um, at this point, I'm like, I dare you to send me home early. Make me. Oh, what is this, Irene? My life ends abruptly this year. I'm okay with that. I'm tired. Well, see, you're putting that energy out there, Irene. How is that going to get you anywhere, my dear? If you keep saying, no, this is the end, I'm done, I'm tired, I'm not. With that kind of verbiage, things aren't going to change. I mean, we all know this from experience. Because you get the death card, your lifeline Your physical life is not going to end this year. It's a rebirth. The old, you have the opportunity to end the old and start something new. But are you able to do it? As like I said, it's going to be up to you. So it's 3 o'clock. I guess I'm going to end the show. There haven't been any other requests for readings, and that's okay. Yep. Yep, mine was a rebirth. See, but you're just saying that. And that's still putting that energy out there, Irene. It's almost like asking the universe, well, if you end, my life ends now, I don't have to worry about, don't, that, ugh, ugh, ugh. Rebirth after birth, it all sounds messy. Yeah, I've never had to experience that, but I'm sure my mamas here have. Yeah, but that was a definite rebirth. I had to say goodbye to, well, that was really close to my family. There was just no getting through to them. And sometimes you just have to walk away and let people figure shit out on their own and not be dragged into it. I had some friends that I even had to walk away from. I mean, I'm still in touch with them from time to time, but this first year has been difficult. But after a while, let's see, on my palm. Nope, you're wrong. Dying isn't bad. Anyway, love to everyone. Have a good rest of your night. And let's see, am I doing anything else this week? I probably will. Tomorrow there's shopping. I usually play it by ear during the week. I go to see who's on what show at what time so that I don't get overlapping and I have the opportunity to get few people in. So, but it's interesting with today, the sacred feminine, usually I see a few other people pop in, but it could be that Mercury retrograde and that storm kicking up. So everybody, Tom, especially, dude, we were watching one of the weather channels. Well, Shan watches the Fox Moon because it's free. And they were in New Jersey, and man, you guys are getting some snow. But hey, how's maybe 1, maybe 2 weeks of snow on the west here compared to 3, 4 months in New Jersey? Just saying. But yeah, stay safe, stay warm, my friends. And I'm not going to say anything. No, Miss Tarot D was here. Maybe a different, but yeah, that's a lot of snow. A lot of snow. Keep the kitties, keep Bosie and Gimli nice and warm. You and Sam snuggle, watch a good movie. And alrighty. So this is only like the second or third time snowing this year, just a fair amount. Yeah. BC is milder weather out here. Exactly. Washington did get hit with some unprecedented rain, and there was flooding. Something called a weather river or something like that Shan talks about. And, the bands are changing, and we had a very hot summer here last year. But I will say, even though it was 95 to 100 a lot for the summer, the humidity, there was none, which made it easier. Dries the hell out of my paints faster, but there's no humidity. Yeah, we were really windy the last couple days, but starting to die down, and it was pretty much a balmy 50 today. It was nice. It wasn't too cold, wasn't. And I went to the cemetery again too this morning before my my counseling appointment, and nobody was interested in me today. There weren't that many there, and I took a big thing with me, and I'm shaking, going, "Hey guys, I'm here with more today." And obviously, they had other better things to do. So, yeah. So I'll pop up at some point. Like I said, see who's on and if I get any inspiration. And just reached out to Sabrina for a possible show, so stay tuned for that. And alrighty, everybody, have a great rest of your night. Enjoy dinner. Stay safe, stay warm, and also to really quick prayers to Michelle Murray and Jonathan. There's a lot of unrest going on right now in Mexico because of this cartel trial or death or something. So there's been a lot of unrest. So they said they're safe, but still lots of protective light for Michelle Marie, Jonathan, and little Rosie, and everybody there too. Also, of course. Alrighty, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Love you all. Bye.